Hey guys, I got a new video. I got some new cards to show you, and I'm very excited about these cards here. Um, there's been a new article on pokebeach showing a bunch of new Pokemon cards from the Chilling Reign expansion coming in a couple of months in English. These cards just got revealed in Japanese. I'm gonna go through them, and I think you'll probably be as excited as I am about some of them. The first card we have is Ice Rider CALRYEX V. It's a simple basic V Pokemon, the water type. Weakness to Steel, 40 damage for 1 water, and for 2 water and a colorless does 200 damage, and you discard 2. Nothing special here. I mean, it does 200 damage, that's pretty good for 3 energy. It seems to be becoming standard. 200 with a drawback. So yeah, that's the Ice Rider V. Now the VMAX is where things get pretty interesting. Ice Rider CALRYEX VMAX has 320 HP, again a weakness to steel, retreat cost of 2, which is pretty good. For 2 colorless, Imperial Steed. Its attack does 30 more damage for each of your opponent's benched Pokemon. This is the same attack as the Zoroark from Breakthrough, X and Y Breakthrough, I believe it was. It was one of the break sets. It's a really good attack. Obviously Skyfield's not as much of a thing anymore, but it hits Eternatus for about as much as it hits you. So that's a pretty good counter to Eternatus, I think. Or not really a counter, but a way to play around it. Its other attack, 2 water energy, Max Lance does 10 damage plus 120 for each water you discard from this Pokemon. Unfortunately, it's not from the bench or anything like that, so you do need to switch into it with Frostmoth and stuff like that. But 120, it's the same attack as Rapid Strike or Shifu, almost. Except all damage is focused on one. So you can either hit for, say, what's that, like 160 damage with the first attack by default, or you can hit it for a lot more damage and discard all the energy. So they have a similar playstyle. Obviously, they don't hit the bench, but this attack's really good. This Pokemon card is really good. I think it's pretty fair. It's pretty balanced. I don't think it's as strong as the upcoming Ghost Rider, Shadow Rider CALRYEX, but I think it's really good. I'm pretty excited to play with it. Next up, we have Shadow Rider CALRYEX V, the basic V Pokemon for the evolution to the VMAX. Shadow Mist does 10 damage, and your opponent can't play Special Energy or Stadium from their hand during the next turn. Similar to Chaos Wheel. It's kind of the same as Chaos Wheel, except without the tools. I don't know how important tools are really at the moment in this format, but being able to deny Special Energy and the Stadium is really going to be really relevant, I think. Special Energy has been getting so popular. Almost every deck now has at least 4. No, Rapid Strike has their energy, Steel has their energy, Single Strike has their energy. Some fire decks are even running that fire energy that adds HP. There's a ton, especially Capture Energy, a ton of energies getting played right now. And special energies, and this is a pretty good way of denying it. Stadium cards early on is pretty good denial as well. Some stadiums can be pretty good, but I think it's more so denying the special energy that makes this a relevant attack. This other attack, Astral Barrage, puts 5 damage counters on 2 of your opponent's Pokemon. For 3 colorless, that's alright. It's nothing fancy. You do 100 damage spread between 2 things, but it's okay. It's not the best. It's a pretty unique attack. Can't really be denied, but it's not the most relevant attack. I haven't done any math yet on the Shadow Rider V and VMAX, whether or not the 5 damage counters matters on something, but it probably will, just to get that little extra breakpoint. But 3 energy on a V that you don't really want to attack with isn't the best. You probably just want to stack up the VMAX. And that brings us to the VMAX. Shadow Rider CALRYEX VMAX is such a cool Pokemon, and I really like this ability. It reminds me of like Metagross, Malamar, all these energy manipulation effects, all just in one. Rayquaza, like, I love it. I love this card so much. Has an ability, Hellgate, which I am more than sure is going to be changed in English into like Heckgate or something. There's no way it's going to be called Hellgate. Once during your turn, you may attach a Psychic Energy card from your hand to one of your bench Psychic Pokemon, then draw 2 cards. Holy shit. It's like trade, except you accelerate energy instead of discarding a card. It's so good. Yes, you need to have a psychic energy in your hand for this to be active, as well as one on the bench. But that shouldn't be too hard. You probably build your deck around it. But oh, I love this ability, and it's not limited to one. It doesn't have to be active like Metagross GX was. It's really good, and I am very excited for this card to come out. It is weak to dark. That is a drawback. However, with the way the format's going right now, it seems that Rapid Strike or Shifu, Eternatus, as well as Shadow Rider are going to be really very relevant decks, especially post-rotation, with Inteleon, VMAX, and other things like that coming into play. So I don't think weakness is going to be the biggest deal. There's going to be quite a few top-tier decks and differently played decks in the format. But what makes this thing ability even better is its attack, Max Geist. For 3 colorless energy, it does 10 damage plus 30 more damage for each psychic energy attached to your Pokemon in play. It's the same effect as that new Venusaur VMAX, same kind of attack, same attack as Rayquaza GX, which I loved. I love decks where you just want to spread energy across the field. I think it's so much fun. I think it's a really cool, unique way of playing the game. And this attack paired with this ability is so good. It's a welder, basically. You get like a little baby welder during your turn, right? It's so nice. And I am very excited to be playing with this card. Cresselia is Volcanion. It's the same thing as Volcanion. The Volcanion from Unbroken Bonds, I believe it was. Crescent Growth throws your deck for psychic energy, attach it to one of your Pokemon, then shuffle your deck. If you go second on your first turn, you may attach 3 psychic energy to one of your Pokemon instead. Yeah, it's cool. It's good. It's a good setup card. It's literally the same effect as Volcanion. I don't really like that. I don't like... There's already such a benefit to going second in Standard, where you get your supporter and all that. So if you get your supporter, you get set up, and you get a Cresselia attack off, you're so far ahead. Your other opponent is just kind of sitting there like, what do I do? You know? I really don't like attacks like this. I think if you're going first, and it's your first turn, you can use it, because it's so much harder to pull that off. But the way these kind of attacks work, I really don't like, because it makes going second just absurdly more better. More better. But yeah, and this other attack, Photon Laser, 30 damage. If you have 5 or more energy, implies attack does 90 damage. It's like a slightly different Volcanion, but it's basically the same thing. I don't like it. I think attacks like this shouldn't be a thing. It's very unfair, but we got it, so let's work with it. Obviously an auto-include in the CALRYEX deck, and, you know, that's what the set's themed around, so it's going to be synergized with the VMAX. Got a bunch of trainers now that got revealed. They're all pretty cool. I'm a big fan of all of them, I think. Melanie, attach a water energy from your discard pile to one of your Pokemon V, then draw 3 cards. The instant reaction here is, okay, so this is played with Ice Rider CALRYEX, obviously, right? That's what the thing's built for. The deck, the set is themed around that, so, you know, instant synergy right there. It's Welder, but a very much weaker Welder. You can only attach to a V, you only attach 1 card, and it's from your discard. So, turn 1, this isn't going to be the best, because it's probably going to be kind of hard for you to get a water energy into your discard. Late game, though, this thing's really good. Drawing 3, attaching a V, attaching a water is really good. I think this is how Welder should have been, just attach 1 and draw 3. That would have made it probably fine. But yeah, instant synergies with CALRYEX, probably really good with Inteleon VMAX. Probably any V deck that comes out, this will be, or water-themed V deck that comes out, this will be a really good card. I like it. I think it's fair. I think it's cool. I don't think it's going to break the game like Welder did, and that's important. Next up, we have a Fog Crystal. Search your deck for either a basic Psychic Pokemon or a Psychic Energy. Reveal it, put it in your hand, shuffle your deck. This is literally the same as Netball. Netball was search your deck for either a basic Grass Pokemon or a Grass Energy. Is it good? It's alright. You can't search a VMAX, but it's okay. If you're playing that Psychic heavy deck, obviously this card's going to be pretty good, especially early on, get your Cresselia. I would have much rather have seen a Mysterious Treasure reprint or something like that, but I think this card's good enough. especially with the amount of evolution stuff we can search now. Evo Incense and Pokecom. Pokecom does rotate, so maybe we'll see something else, some other kind of evolution search. But it's a cool card. I like it. Speaking of cards I like, I do not like this card. Path to the Peak Stadium. Each player's Pokemon in play with a rule box has no abilities. So this is 100% just a better power plant. It hits EX, it hits Prisms, it hits... what are those other kind of Pokemon? Not Prisms, I forget what they're called. But all breaks, even, it hits everything. No abilities. Only in play, so it doesn't hit the discard, so Darkrai GX, things like that would still work, which is, sure, but this card's so good, and it's going to be a polarizing card in standard and the expanded format for a long time, until they either ban it or, you know, they find a way to balance it, because I think this card is way too good. Power Plant already sees enough play in expanded, surprisingly, and now they have this card that hits everything, V's as well, so I'm not sure how I like this card. I don't think I do. We'll have to see. But at the moment, I very much dislike this card. I think it's way too strong to be a generic hit everything. Everything with a rule box just gets thrown in a bucket and is like, here, you can't use any of these. You know? But yeah, it's a card that's getting printed, unfortunately. We're gonna have to deal with it. But I don't like it. I dislike this card. And finally, the last card of this video is Old Cemetery, another stadium. Whenever a player attaches an energy from their hand to one of their Pokemon, excluding Psychic Pokemon, put 2 damage counters on that Pokemon. It's cool. It's unique. Is it unique? No, it's not. There's a Plasma Stadium that did this same kind of thing. It's a card. Is it good enough to be played? I don't think so. I think with this deck, you're going to want to play a Stadium. At least if you're playing this in Shadow Rider CALRYEX, I think you're going to want to play this with... play that deck with, like, Viridian or Training Court, some Stadium that, like, gets you an energy. Because you need to get energy. Dealing an extra 2 damage to your opponent's Pokemon could stack up, but it doesn't help you at all. And, like, that deck is a deck that wants to help you. Like, you need to be getting many buffs as you can. So is this card good enough in that deck? I don't think so. Maybe post-rotation will be good, but at the moment, I think this card is just kind of cool. Excluding Psychic Pokemon is obviously a good thing, but it's an kind of card for me. So yeah, that's those new cards. I'm pretty excited about these. Unfortunately, and just oddly enough, none of these cards have anything to do with the new V-Union mechanic, which we're supposed to be getting soon. So maybe V-Union is going to be related to supporters, which I kind of think it will be. I think it'll kind of be like supporters and Pokemon working together. So maybe they'll bring back active supporters where they just kind of sit there. Who knows? But it's cool set. Lots of cool cards got revealed. I'm very excited to play with all of these, honestly. I think they're all really good. Yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Want to check me out on Twitter? Follow me at checkered_, on Twitch at checkered. I stream fairly often enough. I run expanded events. If you like playing expanded, come play in my expanded Sunday events. Yeah. Yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys in another video.